Hi and welcome here on pierosini.com, the wine show. And as you can see, I'm totally pumped today because I'm quite excited. I am here on Chateau Léoville Barton, and my guest today is Lilian Barton, right?
Yes, hello.
So you're feeling right, great weather today, no?
Yes, but we've had quite a lot of rain recently, but we needed it, so we're very happy to have had the rain. The soil was getting a bit dry, and the water tables are back to normal. And of course, when it rains, it doesn't freeze.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So just I let you want to introduce yourself, where we are, just for the people, for the wine lovers who start to begin to be wine lovers. Okay. Where are we here?
My name is Lilian Barton-Sartorius, and we are at the domains of Langoa Barton, which is a third classified growth, and Léoville Barton, which is a second classified growth. They lie in St-Julien, which lies in the Médoc, just north of Bordeaux.
Your wines are quite, let's say, the Léoville Barton is quite famous because really often has, like, let's say, Maserati tannins, quite enormous, huge wine. Today we're going to taste three wines actually. La Réserve de Barton, which is the, can you say second wine?
It's the second wine, yes.
Okay, and we're going to taste the 11 vintage. Well, can you explain something about philosophy, or how you treat about the winemaking process or the work in the vineyard? Do you follow any principles? Or?
Well, we don't necessarily follow all the trends. We are on the whole quite traditional. For instance, the famous vendange verte, we do not do the vendange verte.
Yeah.
We believe it's better to prune correctly the vines, and they produce the right amount like that, and there's no need to do any vendange verte, which confuses the vines, in fact, to be doing that. And then winemaking methods in the cellar, we still have the old wooden vats to vinify in.
Yeah.
And but of course now they're temperature controlled, which it was a big problem in those days with the wooden vats. And well, I'm slightly surprised what you say about the tannins, because on the contrary, we try to have rather smoother tannins. We don't go after extraction that much.
Well, I meant it in a positive sense, actually.
We're more after the elegance and the finesse than having big-bodied wines. Of course, I will agree that for the 2009, 2010, we did have big wines, but that's the quality of the climate that gave us these very concentrated grapes.
So, and what is your role actually in this, let's say, chateau? You are involved in also in the winemaking process, or you're more in the back?
No, I'm. No, we have somebody perfectly good to make the wine, so that's no problem. Personally, I know I do more the promotion of the wine, and I oversee with my father the property.
Yeah, your father actually, Anthony Barton.
Yes.
The Grand Seigneur, you can say it. Actually, he's quite. How old is he now?
He's nearly 82.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope still in good condition, right?
No problem.
Okay.
He's just come back from a trip to England.
Okay, so we're going to taste now the three wines. I'm quite curious. So here it is, the first wine, La Réserve de Barton, vintage 08 actually, and well, 08. Can you say just a few words about 08?
Ah, the 2008, thank you.
Yeah.
2008 was a vintage slightly forgotten about. People thought that it didn't have much character, but I find it's a very agreeable wine with very ripe tannins, and it's a round wine, and probably we can drink it quite young. It's got a nice bouquet's aroma to it.
Yeah, it's quite open. Yeah, fragrant.
And it is quite, which is, of course, is usually true for second wines, that you can generally drink much younger.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it means that the first wines are more, let's say, in the first year they're more like quiet before they start to explode. Can you say that?
Well, the 2008 anyway is a forward vintage. But it's true of any vintage that the second wines are ready for drinking much earlier.
Okay.
And the second wine and the first wines, the Grand Vin, needs usually much more time. In the case of 2008, a little less time than others, because I think the Grand Vin we can start drinking in 5 to 10 years' time.
Okay. So, and La Réserve, which means is a, let's say, which didn't pass the selection, or did you have?
Yes, it's usually vats that when we tasted we didn't find good enough to go into the Grand Vin, but it's usually young vines.
Okay.
So basically between when we are allowed to call it St-Julien, in other words a vine of 5 years old, to vines of 10 years old, we usually put those into the second wine.
Well, the color is like deep red, yeah, garnet red color. But as I said, it's fragrant.
Yes.
A lot of cassis, black pepper, white pepper actually.
Absolutely.
Wow. And yeah, fine notes of a little bit chocolate, some, yeah, some coffee. Okay, let's taste it. Huh?
You still have
Wow.
very present tannins, so it would be better to wait for a couple of years for it.
Yeah, I agree.
But it depends how people like their wine. You know, some people like their wine with a lot of ready fruit, and the tannins quite present doesn't worry them.
Yeah, well, this would match really well with the entrecôte on the grill.
For
right?
instance, yes.
Yeah, actually, it's yeah, I would say, yeah, more the medium-bodied actually.
Yes, yeah.
Great acidity, great tannins present, but yeah, absolutely, and it's quite long and it's full. It's really juicy actually.
Yes.
Good-
Well, what's true of any wine is the balance. So you can have a really light wine, if the balance is correct, have an agreeable drink, or you can have a wine like the 2009s where they have a lot of alcohol and a lot of tannin and still have the balance that makes them a nice wine, although we can wait a bit for the 2009s.
Okay, so we go ahead with yeah, 2011 with Langoa Barton and yeah, Léoville Barton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Langoa Barton 2011, and let me say, yeah, with my words, 011 is not so, yeah, let's say the vintage stands behind 09 or 10, of course, right? But say,
2009, 2010 were exceptional.
yeah.
If you did too many vintages like that, it would no longer be exceptional.
So what was the main difference between the vintages? Actually, was cooler climate. The climate was cooler.
The climate was completely strange in 2011. We had a spring that was too hot and too dry.
Yeah.
In June, we even had, in some places, some people had some grapes that were slightly burnt. And then in July we had rain, in August we had rain, so a bit too much in the end and not quite warm enough. And then we had perfect weather for the harvest.
Okay.
So basically I think that 2011 is a very good vintage. It's just that unfortunately coming after the 2009s, 2010s, it comes in a bad position. But had it come sort of after 2001, 2008, or 2007, we would have said it was a very good vintage.
Okay. I phoned to Denis Durantou this morning, and he said actually the same, right? And so, but to talk about Langoa Barton, Chateau Langoa Barton, the classified growth.
It's a third classified growth, which we bought first. In fact, we bought Langoa in 1821.
Okay.
So the
Yesterday.
third Barton in Bordeaux.
Okay.
Because we're an Irish family.
Well, and you vinify the wines of Langoa Barton and Léoville Barton in the same winery, right?
Yes.
In the same cellar. Let me
Yes.
say like this.
Yes. We've only got one cellar.
Okay. It's pretty, yeah, nice. So let's taste the wine. Color, it's like, yeah, always the, yeah, it's deep red garnet colored. And yeah, let's sniff it. It's a little bit more. Let's say it's also fragrant. But it's fresh. It's cooler than the O.H. Reserve. It's different wine. Shows more elegance actually.
Yeah. Well, that's why we have a second wine.
Yeah.
Is to be able to bring up the quality of the Grand Vin.
Which doesn't mean that La Réserve is not elegant. Actually, I just want to say, that this one is. You feel it. It's like more gentleman-like, or no, let's say more woman-like. Okay.
Like the St-Juliens.
Okay.
Well, it's still got very much the violet color of the very young wine.
So actually, this wine is still in barrel.
Oh yes, and it'll be in barrel for another year still.
Yeah. Okay. So
we're bottling the 2010s next week.
Okay. Now, good luck.
Yes.
Okay, let's taste it.
I find that there's harmony to this wine.
Yeah, I agree.
Tannins are
suppled.
Very well, exactly. Very, very pleasant tannins. We know that there is a certain amount of alcohol, and the fruit has a certain freshness to it, which is always agreeable.
Yeah.
Especially when the main object of a wine is to be drunk and not necessarily dissect it at a tasting.
Yeah.
And to be drunk with food, preferably.
Yeah, I agree.
Bordeaux, anyway.
The Italian, or let's say French way, right?
Yes.
And Chateau, of course, it has a lot of a mixture of red and dark berries, and really smooth. It's like really medium-bodied.
Yes.
But it's also quite long, and where we're going ahead to the Léoville Barton. So here it is, 011 Léoville Barton, and quite excited. So the treatment.
Thank you.
Thank you. The treatment from Langoa Barton and Léoville Barton. What's the main difference? Just regarding, or let's say it's the difference lies only in the terroir, or?
It's only the terroir. Basically, the vines of Langoa lies to the south of St-Julien, and the vines of Léoville lie to the north and west of St-Julien, next to the other two Léovilles, because Léoville used to be one property.
Okay.
But otherwise, the percentage of grapes is about the same, the picking time is roughly the same, and the same treatment with the same percentage of new oak and everything once it comes into the cellar.
And you don't get mixed or confused during the winemaking process? I mean, I don't know how many hectares you have in production, but I mean it's like to handle it? Well,
they've only got 22 vats, so out of 22 vats we can work out which is Langoa and which is Léoville.
Okay.
Because it comes in and we know that vat number 2, let's say, is Langoa, and we know that vat number 6 is Léoville. We know it as it comes in.
Okay, so let's taste this wine. Color, once again, red garnet color. Let's sniff it. Yeah, it's different. It's more dense to the core actually in the nose, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The big difference in the glass of Langoa and Léoville, Langoa is more pleasant and more charming when it's young. In the long run, Léoville that stays closed longer is a more complex wine.
And will blossom after 100 years? No.
Well, perhaps not, but will definitely be ready for drinking later than Langoa.
Okay, so let's taste it. Well, excellent vintage, I have to say. 11, quite also in harmony. This wine, I find it.
Yes.
It's really juicy at this moment. It has this, of course, these dark berries like cassis. You have, let's say dark cherries, fine chocolate notes, set up, a little bit, and great acidity, great tannins. Really. Yeah, like I said, Maserati tannins.
Yeah, we like to pick when the grapes are just ripe, so we still have this acidity that gives the freshness to the wine. Waiting for too long, one risks the polyphenols and everything to fall over the edge. So we prefer this freshness, which goes along with trying to go for the delicacy of the wine as opposed to the power of the wine.
Well, Lilian, I'm really, like in the beginning, I'm really pumped, really excited. Thank you for the interview.
Pleasure.
And well, I hope that you will enjoy the rest of the day, but I suppose that you're going to work now.
I'll be going back to the office, so it was nice to have a little rest from the office.
Yeah, okay. For the future, say greetings to your father.
I will, thank you very much.
And for in Italian we say a 100 anni,
What does that mean?
Up to 100 years.
Oh, I see, okay.
And of course, also more. And for you, everything best. And well, this was the interview on Chateau Léoville Barton. We taste really outstanding wines, good qualities, and I hope I see you in the next clip.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.